everybody, I'm Jacki Jing, and welcome back to day 2 of Debrief, Mexico Major Edition, where we submitted to our new APAC overlords. Let's start off in Group A, where Cyclops was making big waves in Mexico City. CAG started the day off against Team 1 and wasted no time beating the brakes off Brazil's number 2 team. The Japanese were feeling so confident, they even picked Caveira and pulled off 2 interrogations in the same round. Team 1 could only grab 2 rounds as Cyclops rushed onto a matchup with the Soniqs. Anatan was the hero this time around, coming up clutch to knock Super and the gang out of playoff contention. Meanwhile, BDS hoped to keep rolling after a solid day 1. The Frenchmen started things off with a bang, smoking the Soniqs in a 7-1 blowout to start the day off right. With Team 1 struggling beforehand, BDS looked poised to finish day 2 undefeated. Shikhar and BDS would run up the score early on to try and choke out Team 1. But a strong second half for 1 completely flipped the script as BDS dropped their first match of the tourney. Group B proved to be even more exciting on day 2 as Furia and Space Station punched their tickets to the playoffs. Furia followed up their barn burner match against SSG with one of the best games of day 2 against NAVI on Consulate. After a 4-2 lead turned into a 6-4 deficit for NAVI, the Brits fought hard to keep their playoff dreams alive. They'd take the first point in overtime, but Furia came roaring back after a team kill cost NAVI dearly in the final round. Lenda led the way as Furia put NAVI on the brink of an early exit. Space Station was hungry to lock in a top 8 spot on the second go-around with NAVI. NAVI kept it close, but stellar performances from Rampy and Bosco would steal a second win over the Brits. With the 2 losses, NAVI finds themselves mathematically eliminated, while SSG and Furia are the first 2 teams to make the playoffs. Meanwhile, Group C was a complete free-for-all on day 2. After shocking Europe with a win over G2, Dam1 was ragdolled by a stunning performance from Dark Zero. Eclipse put the final nail in the coffin with a huge ace to close out a 7-4 win. Dark Zero, they weren't done yet, however, taking on G2 headfirst in a bloody brawl. Hungary came up big for G2 early on, but Hyper matched his pace to push this one to a classic DZ overtime. A dominant round 15 gave DZ the win and pushed them towards the first in the group. Meanwhile, NiP and Dam1 faced off in a doubleheader to end the day for Group C. DWG dragged the world champs to the full 15 rounds and pulled off an amazing upset on Clubhouse. Feeling cocky, Dam1 challenged the Ninjas on Clubhouse again, and NiP wasn't having it at first. The Brazilians came back with a vengeance, stomping through the first half and hitting match point on round 8. But suddenly, Dam1 found their footing. They fought through 4 match points and forced a miracle overtime. NiP couldn't recover in overtime as DWG stormed to back-to-back wins over the SI 2021 champs. Meanwhile, Team Liquid continued their warpath in the group of death. 2 big wins over Invictus, and Empire let Liquid lock in a playoff spot and stay the only team still undefeated. Palu was on point as Liquid made short of IG and Coastline, finishing with a 1.54 rating. But that was just the warm-up for him, as he dropped 19 kills on Empire to push towards a 4-0 record. But as Liquid soared, TSM's woes continued at the Mexico Major. They started the day off with a narrow loss to Team Empire, with Shepard coming up clutch to put TSM on the brink of elimination. Meanwhile, Invictus Gaming were ready to send Bolo and the boys packing in an Oregon grudge match. Speakeasy and Hysterics combined for 31 kills as APAC snuffed out another North American team's hopes. Needless to say that APAC had one hell of a day in Mexico. Were you surprised by DWG Invictus and Cyclops performing so well? Let us know in the comments. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe and go follow us on Twitter. And follow me too at Jacki Jing to stay on top of the madness in Mexico City. If you want to see more of the numbers that players like Palu were putting up, head on over to the Siege GG competitions page. Major groups end tomorrow, folks. Stay tuned to Siege GG to see who stays and who says adios. Bye for now.